They're taking on the lessons, fully into it, trying to learn everything that they can to take away, to go back to then fight back on the front lines.
3 years ago, Russia launched its devastating full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Since then, NATO allies have been steadfast in supporting the Ukrainian armed forces with the weapons and training they need to defend their homeland. Together, they're helping forge the next generation of Ukrainian soldiers called upon to defend their country. Armies need leaders, and not just at the top. While generals make plans and issue orders, leadership in the trenches comes from non-commissioned officers. They are the link between enlisted soldiers and officers, charged with carrying out orders and leading troops into the heat of battle. At the same time, they're responsible for taking care of their soldiers, giving them guidance and mentorship, while enforcing discipline in the ranks. They are evidence of a remarkable transformation in the Ukrainian army. In years past, Ukrainian enlisted soldiers had to wait for explicit orders from officers before they could act, making for a slower, less efficient force. After Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea, however, the Ukrainian army decided to reinvent itself. It intensified its work with NATO allies, who helped turn Ukraine's non-commissioned officers from mid-level enlisted troopers into battlefield leaders. This has made for a more flexible force. In Ukraine's fight against Russian aggression, it has made all the difference. Here in the deep Baltic forests, the Lithuanian army is training new Ukrainian non-commissioned officers to be effective sergeants, capable of both caring for their soldiers and leading them into battle.
Сержант приймає участь безпосередньо в житті підрозділу, він їх тренує, з ними живе, взагалі знає все про свій підрозділ і допомагає йому існувати, скажімо так. Від нього залежить багато життів.
Твоє ставання чоловіком відбувається тоді, коли ти несеш відповідальність за когось ще. Правий, ти зовсім по-іншому сприймаєш реальність. Це як ти начебто прокидаєшся.
Infantry sergeants are frontline soldiers, but they're also tasked with planning operations and deciding which tactics should be used.
Що конкретно на цьому курсі було добре від натівських інструкторів? Це підхід до планування операцій і контроль за плануванням операції, це доведення нам цих самих стандартних операційних процедур стосовно тактичних моментів. Це механізована тактика з використанням броньованої техніки, броньованих машин піхоти, як М113.
NCOs who are confident and empowered with decision-making will make the Ukrainian army more flexible in battle.
Наразі війна характеризується високою інтенсивністю дій і швидкою зміною обставин. Тобто потрібно, щоб процес прийняття рішень, щоб рішення приймали люди, що саме, як то кажуть, в гущі событій, що вони саме бачать і приймають участь саме на тих ділянках, де швидко змінюються обставини. Не десь в штабі, а ось тут.
After Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, NATO allies pledged to support the Ukrainian army with advanced weaponry. Among the assets promised was one of the alliance's strongest tanks, the Leopard 2. Manufactured in Germany and currently in service with 15 NATO allies, the Leopard is fast and strong, with thick armor to protect its crew during intense combat.
The tanks bring the new quality. We saw a lot of movies delivered us from Ukrainian side. After being hit twice, 3-4 times, this tank survived. For Ukrainians, this is the power to win the war.
Allies have donated Leopard 2 tanks of various models to Ukraine since 2023. They've also been training the crews needed to operate them. At the Combined Arms Training Center in Poland, a mission funded by the European Union and staffed by NATO allies, Ukrainian soldiers are fully trained to operate the Leopard 2.
The training program is focused on training the gunner, the driver, the commander of the tank, then to make from them the tank crew as the whole.
The Combined Arms Training Center doesn't just train the crews. They also train the maintainers, who will be responsible for keeping the tanks up and running on the front line.
Jeśli chodzi o ich zaangażowanie, jest to w 100%. Są bardzo dobrze zmotywowani i bardzo dobrze chłoną wiedzę. Sytuacja wymusiła na nich szybką i intensywną naukę.
After 3 years of war, Ukraine is littered with landmines and unexploded ordnance. These deadly explosives are a threat to Ukrainian troops and civilians alike. Cleansing the landscape will take years of painstaking work in war or peace. That's why the British Army is helping train new explosive ordnance disposal technicians at an undisclosed location in the United Kingdom.
Ми постійно стикаємося з мінами, бо ми були на території, яку ми звільнили. Після відходу росіян через них залишилось дуже багато мін. Це є великою проблемою. В той же час росіяни не перестають дистанційно мінувати наші землі, від чого страждають цивільні кожного дня.
Detecting mines means getting low and going slow. Trainees learn how to search the dirt to find mines before they explode. The stress is constant, as any mistake could mean injury or death. But these skills are vital for Ukrainian troops as they continue to defend their homeland.
A lot of them do come straight from the front line. I do respect that they're coming here, they're taking on the lessons, fully into it, trying to learn everything that they can to take away, to go back to then fight back on the front lines.
Ultimately, Ukraine's greatest weapon is the courage and willpower of the men and women who have fought on the front lines since 2022. NATO allies stood behind them then and stand behind them now.
Лично у меня мотивация продолжать сражаться за свою страну, за Украину. Это понятие, что больше нигде там мне не будет дома, кроме как Украина, потому что это мой дом, моя страна.